the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Wednesday night OP Racing Grand National Series right here at the Daytona International Speedway. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is KR Solfus, and tonight's the Lou Sassol Drive It In Hard 175 is about ready to get underway. But before we can, we got to get right into qualifying, and on track is the number 7 of Josh Milam. He's one of the first ones to cross the start-finish line to begin his qualifying run. He has his race car wound up. We are in the ARCA car tonight, and so we will be keeping a very close eye on how well these cars match up, front bumper to back bumper. It'll be an interesting night. Zach Workman in the 19, making his way around the speedway as well. He is on the clock. Harold Rothery in the 214, coming off of turn number 4. He is going to complete his first time lap. And Rothery crossed the line at a 49.44. Karosik taking pole at a 49.33. Gabe Butler crossing the line in the 88. Bob Lacavera in the 11. Shutting down right now. He is 19th out of 19 cars to qualify.
Should I just assume you're never going to introduce me?
You know what? I kind of forgot. Hey guys. So Peter's here. Peter deBorja. I'm not really sure how strong this whiskey is that I'm drinking, but holy cow.
Just sitting here waiting. But it's okay, because now my pick to win the pole is out on the track there. He's getting ready to come to the green, but I'm sure you got a bunch of anthems to play, so we won't see his whole thing. But I like that 6 car tonight. He's been really strong here in officials all the week, really been putting in the effort. Qualified really well in the podium 500 heats and all that too. So he knows how to get around here, and he's headed into turn 1 with a good line there, and we'll see if where he ends up on the tower.
All right, well, there you have it. The 6 of Cody Engels is the favorite by old Peter deBorja, who's in the broadcast booth with me, by the way, in case you didn't know. And we'll be right back after our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are starting to take to the grid on pit road here in the OP Racing Grand National Series, race number 10. So let's get right into tonight's starting lineup for this one. Pole position by the 88 of Gabe Butler with a time of 49.330 to his outside. The fastest car in practice now. On the front row, once again, that is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. Row number 2 going to be made up of the 44 of Anthony English and Steve Karosik. Row number 3, the 6 of Cody Nagels, the 33 of Jeff Crosby. Row number 4 will be made up of the 62 of Les Levy and the 7 of Josh Milam. Row 5 will be the 12 of Zach Fritsch and the 04 of Mark Mann. Row number 6, the 19 of Zach Workman and the 1 of Zach Lima. Row number 7, yes, thank you, I can do math as well as be caught off guard by Peter sneaking up on me. Sean Stevens in the 27 and Jeff Crosby Sr. on the outside. Row number 8, the 47 of Richard Kuhn and the 38 of Dude Conrad. Row number 9, David Booth in the 77, and to his outside, that is the 21 of Daniel Holloway. Travis Elliott and Adam Kilday make up row number 10. Row 11, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds and the 214 of Harold Rothery. Andy Brigante and Eric Laurie make up row number 12. Row 13 is the 9 of Nate Warren and David Overstreet in the 46. Bob Lacavera and Rick Sebrands for row number 14. Row 15, David Livingston, and Richard Sanchez, and Dan Harrington brings up our 31 car field for tonight. And I do believe the 04 of Mark Mann has pulled back onto pit road after rolling out on the grid, so we'll see if he can get back out there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not super duper worried about it. He's got a win already. He's locked into the playoffs, but he is a teammate or two out here that you might want to try and help out tonight. I know Rick Sebrands isn't known for running every Wednesday race, but it'd be pretty cool if he'd be able to sneak a victory here. Holloway's locked in the playoffs. So those Alliance guys are out here to have some fun on Wednesday night as we take the green flag. Gabe and Vicente going to be leading them here into turn 1.
So the green flag comes out. The 04 Mark Mann already rolling. He is going to rejoin this field. Alabit just a little bit behind him.
I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. Like I said, even if he does lose a lap, he might be the only one a lap down. These cars, as you were mentioning before, it's all going to be about how they match up and line up. And there's a lot of guys here who aren't regular Wednesday drivers who might not have as much ARCA experience, but you really want to hit slightly left to center when you're giving them a push, and you really cannot give them the hard pushes that you would in the B car or the C car, where it'll really lift the back wheels off the ground and send them around there. So while it's great to see a lot of these Monday guys come out and race these cars for the first time in a while, that could lead to some carnage and some learning experiences here. So keep an eye out on that, especially for giant rate of change. If there's someone throwing a block and a line is coming there, you cannot take a hit like you can in the other vehicles.
Speaking of taking a hit, the 88 has fallen to the third car on the inside line. The 33 and the 14 now leading their respective lanes. Jeff Crosby Jr. on that outside line has the 7 of Josh Milam pushing on him. Steve Karosik pushing on the 14. So tonight, Mr. deBorja, you're up here in the broadcast booth with me. And recently, as far as I can recall, you've been out on the track quite a bit. So what are these ARCA cars like in comparison to, let's say, the B car?
They definitely have a bit more of ability to suck up a little bit more. The B car can get kind of stagnant. If you end up a car length or two behind somebody who also has a draft, it can take a little while to get caught up. These cars definitely don't have that problem. It's pretty easy to get back on the bumper in front of you. You can definitely run 3 wide. They're a little bit narrower, so it's not as crowded, especially at a track like this or at 08, where you feel like you're running out of real estate when you want to go third lane. But they are asymmetrical, and you can tell by like how much of a pain it is to paint some of these cars and some of their complicated paint jobs. The left side and the right side just don't really, they're not even riding at the same height sometimes. They're like a little bulbous, and they push out a little bit there. You really get a good shot of it if you're looking at like the blimp view straight down. You can see how the front bumper of the car just doesn't end up being perfectly parallel with the rear bumper of the car in front. And the best way to push is going to be slightly left to center. But yeah, the end of the rear there is just a little bit higher than it is in the B car, and the front is a little bit lower, meaning that if you hit them too hard, you really can jack them up and take the back tires off the ground and spin a guy around really easily. We saw that last time here when these cars were at 08. So let's hope there's not going to be any serious carnage. They're playing pretty safe and easy right now, but as we mentioned in the warm-up, a lot of guys making their first or second Wednesday starts of the season there. Awesome to see Dude Conrad out there, and welcome David Livingston and Harold Rotherty and some other guys here who are just coming out for the first couple times. And you can see some people already getting a little scared there. Anthony English qualified really well. He went right to the back. He went to go find his teammate, Dan Harrington. They're just chilling back there. Mark Manns, I think that might have been elective. It wasn't like he restarted his computer and made it back in the session. I think that was I'm starting from pits plan. So I think guys are just a little bit nervous here and playing it safe, but hopefully we don't tear up too many race cars.
Riding on board with the 214 of Harold Rothery. The one you mentioned being out here for the first time. As Harold ran on Saturday night with OP?
Yeah, and he's got some experience with some other leagues too. I think I've seen his name in SSK and Area 51 sometime. So he knows how to get around the track here. I don't know how much experience he has in this particular vehicle. One more thing I want to talk about, the difference between this car and the B car. This car uses the new damage model. If you're unfamiliar with iRacing, sometimes they put these updates out there, and the new damage model is really fancy. We take hits in the B car on Mondays all the time, and it just seems to get damaged. They're like, okay, it's got a meatball, it's got required repairs, let's limp around to the pits. This thing will be like, oh, you hit the wall at the right side hard enough, well, the right wheel fell off, and now you can't turn to the left. And it models that really well and specific in this particular vehicle. But that also can mean that we end up with more cars getting towed when they have accidents that don't seem as major, but they're just not able to get back to pit road. So that might put more cars a lap down, and usually you'd think, all right, less cars in the lead lap, the racing's not going to be as aggressive. It's actually exactly the opposite, because now those guys are desperate for a lucky dog, and you got guys in the middle of the pack being desperate, making 3 wide moves instead of just at the lead. So sometimes those cautions can compile more and more and create more situations where guys are going to be racing really hard all over the place here. And like I said, when things can go wrong in this car, they can go very wrong.
All right, well, so far it's been clean and green. We're completing lap 7, starting lap number 8. And, you know, one thing I did get out of the drivers here today is what kind of fuel runs they were expecting. Typically, it's about 15
I heard
laps.
19.8 in when it's out front, and maybe 20 laps when it's not. So I'd say probably pitting on lap 16 or 17 to be safe. Daytona is one of those tracks where if 10 guys cross the finish line and then the yellow comes out, there's a chance that they might have to go all the way around again. So you might throw the caution under green at the finish of lap 35, but you won't enter the pit road until like the end of lap 37. So, you know, yeah, you subtract 20 laps from that, you're looking at 17. But if you're thinking that 37th lap isn't going to be as tough and you're going to be clutching the whole time, then maybe you can pit on 16. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'd say 16, 17, 18 before under green. That's when we should start looking to see some cars.
All right, well, there you have it. Let's take a quick look at some of our race info here tonight. Smooth is going to be fast here at Daytona, not only because it is the smooth Daytona, but you don't want to get too wishy-washy with the steering wheel, especially with this ARCA car and another car on your back bumper. Use your teammates, whoever your teammates happen to be here tonight. Don't forget, there is a reason why it's called ARCA brakes. We will have one stage at halfway, that will be lap 35, and there is one fast repair available here tonight. So ARCA brakes, what do you know about ARCA brakes, Peter? Well, I agree. I think that's a great topic. For those of you who don't know, Peter's disappeared all of a sudden, so we'll see when he comes back. That's okay. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero out in front. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. still to his outside.
That work?
Oh, there he is. Hi, Peter.
Oh, what happened? Sorry. I was saying the ARCA brakes themselves are just mostly the driver deal. That's not really a car deal. They just seem to be really easy to get slowed down, and I don't think it's going to be too particularly scary. There's a lot of drivers in here that are working together. When you go and look to the teams tonight, Wednesdays are a bit more laid back. There's a lot of groups of like 7 or 8 guys running together. I don't see anyone in there running solo. So ARCA braking usually happens when a crash happens and somebody's unaware, and it's going to be tough with that many people working together. That, you know, if there's a crash happening, it's going to be that big of a secret. So we're going to see what happens here. I love the look of these cars, just how people get creative with their paint schemes. Some people really trying to keep the theme that they run in their other OP cars, whether it's with similar sponsors or similar fonts or numbers, and then some people are running to something completely different. So love to see like the spin that people put on there. Obviously the 14 and the 6, the 33, those cars look identical to what you see every single day of the week. But check out what you know, like the 21 running a different number font there, the 071, or even the 27, just like a radically different car. We're used to seeing that Wow Home Videos real estate video company on there, and he's running the Navy scheme there, honoring some of our military. And I just think it's really cool when some guys take a completely different approach to a completely different car like that.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but I gotta tell you, I'd hate to be the guy that has to paint the headlights on this thing.
Oh man, it's tough. But you get a lot more creativity with this too, because there's not a different model already built in. We don't have like a Ford, a Chevy, a Toyota. There's just the Chevy, and they actually don't put the headlights on there automatically, so you get to pick. And other people have already made enough headlights that you can just download that Photoshop layer and put it on there. If we look there a little bit, as that Instacart, is that a Dodge driving by, as well as that Nate Warren Dodge scheme as well, just really showing off some of the different things that we can do. Oh, he's driving a Ford, I think, tonight. But yeah, it's just you see a lot of different representation. It's not even just the same Chevys or same Fords. Sometimes you'll see some Tauruses or some Fusions or some old Monte Carlos, or people running really old schemes. But it's just really cool to see all these cars out there look, you know, completely different. And then you have cars that look exactly the same. Like I said, the 14, but also the 15. That car just looks right with that scheme on it, doesn't it?
The 15, huh? You think it looks right?
I mean, it's not like the early 9. It's not like we don't have a Gen 4 or anything out here, but like that's...
I get what you're saying. That is
yeah.
That's definitely has a throwback feel, kind of matching the age of the ARCA car.
Yeah. That one, the 12 scheme looks pretty good. I just love those classic schemes being applied here when people still put like a little bit of an OP twist on it. So seeing Fritchie's car like that, and
yeah, Fritchie's car definitely that was a paint scheme that was on that body style for sure with Brian Newman.
Oh yeah. So definitely really cool to see. I mean, a lot of these schemes as well, with a lot of the pinstripes and fancy stuff we see now with all the contours and angles of the next gen and the real life cars, doesn't really apply to this very bulbous looking car all the time. So it takes a lot of creativity to try to make everything look right if you're not using a scheme that was from 2007 or so. But looking like some guys trying to let people in here. You can see some gaps there. The 62 letting up from the 15. I don't know if he's trying to let somebody down, like the 85 right there. There's just different. We're looking to see if people can get ready for pit stops here real soon. And that 7 has not been able to get that 33 clear. And I know that those guys are usually on Wednesdays the first ones to hit pit road. We'll see if it happens here. It's getting a good run going in the 1.
Yeah, they're digging hard on that outside lane, but they have not been able to make a whole lot of progress as far as getting ahead of the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. He has got that inside line wound up. Quite a few cars down on the inside line, but you mentioned about lap 16, probably 17. So I think we'll have our green flag pit stop run done here in the next few laps.
Yeah, for sure. And the 7 almost got the 33 clear there, but you saw entering 3, the 7 just washed up the track there. That wasn't a driver error. That was him trying to get some air to the engine to cool it off so he could make a real big push here, but 33 gets real loose there. Too big of a bump from the 7, got those rear wheels off the ground. 7's gonna have to try to lower his temps here and keep his car cool to make a real big push on the backstretch here, because he knows his teammate, if he can clear that 33, that 33 can then check up a little bit and let him down. So those guys are working really hard. They probably wanted to pit this lap. It might not be able to happen. It might have to push everything back a lap.
I believe
it looks
Nate
like he
Warren,
got him there.
Yeah, the 33's cleared.
Yep. Let's see
Nate
then.
Warren looked like he had a little bit of an issue getting on the pit road.
Ooh, interesting. Yep, here they go. Look at that. All the FSR guys going. A ton of people going. You know the 7 wanted to go. Ooh. The 7 absolutely wanted to go there. He just couldn't get the 33 clear a lap earlier than he wanted to. So they're out there still running around.
Well, hopefully the 14 got slowed down, but he had really sent it onto pit road. We'll see if he's going to get hit with a speeding penalty or not. It looks like he is not, as he is down in the way. So great hustle by the 14. Josh Milam leading the next group on the pit road, so he's made his stop this time. John Stevens stays out in the 27. He has the 47 of Richard Kuhn on his back bumper, and then the 51 of Travis Elliott.
Here comes the 12 and the 19, though. This is the battle for the cycle out here. They're just trying to mow down everybody that they pitted at before there. They're climbing through the ranks here. Can they get to where the 14, the 33, and those guys were?
Yeah, they are making some moves here very quickly.
I really do think they would have been able to make it too if the 9 didn't have his problem on pit entry there. I think he would have been able to. That third car would have had them wound up even more, and they've probably been clear by now. But look at the 33 staying up there. He's not going to be able to get pushed by these guys. I know they're all working together. He gave them a little bit of extra draft here, and it's probably going to tuck right in and let those guys down. We'll see if the 14 jumps mid first, and he does. So that's going to hold these guys in the third lane. Oh, the 214 hanging right in the middle. He doesn't know.
Look out, the 44 there as well.
So important to be aware of your surroundings when you're exiting the pit road there. When you stay out this late, you have to know the pack is coming. You have to realize that those guys that pitted before me, they got to take a gallon or half a gallon, a little bit less than we did. So they got a pit stop that was a little bit shorter, and they've got our draft. So they're always going to have the momentum. You got to use your relative. You got to stay on the yellow. You got to be predictable. So hats off to these guys for making that work. That could have been real bad.
Richard Kuhn, Sean Stevens, Travis Elliott still out there on the track, trying to stretch this one as far as they can. That
I believe it just exited the pit road because it looks like they're going down the standings, and I'm showing the 12 as the leader now.
Oh, yep. Okay, that's what they had done. I missed that part. My bad. So the 12 assumes the race lead. Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad, Mark Van, and Bob Lacavera are all one lap down now.
All right, so the 88's in a tough spot here. What they need to think about is if the caution were to come out now, would they actually get the lucky dog? And okay, now the 88's in a better spot. I was gonna say if he was in a spot where he had to push the 12, he was going to be constantly getting these 0x incident points, which meant that when the yellow came out, the lucky dog wouldn't be awarded to him because he had 2 recent contact when that occurred. However, I would be thinking myself right now, if I'm those guys, just stay connected, just stay to the close to the front as close as possible, and we're going to pit on lap 33. And if we can pit on 33, and then we just stay out when the stage happens and the leaders all pit, we'll get our lap back that way. And just as I say that, the 7 to set the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, Josh Milam with a 45.05 fastest lap. So getting down to the end of this stage, so he's starting to work hard to try and get his way back up into that front spot.
And another car going a lap down now, the 071, Eric Laurie. He's up there in the 3rd lane. He's going to fall to the tail end of this pack here. That's about, oh man, like 15, 20 cars or so here. So he probably won't be in contention for the lucky dog. He's probably going to have to make sure he stays close and then takes that lap 33 pit strategy. That can all go out the window if we get a caution on 31 or 32, because that would still end the stage, and then those guys would still be pitting with the leaders and not be able to get their lap back that way. So it's going to be a real close gamble to figure out when do they want to pit to try and time this so that when the caution comes out, they can take a wave around.
Trying to get 3 wide going here. The 12 jumps up to the top lane. The 6 of Cody Nagels in the middle, and the 1 of Zachary Lima right there on that yellow line. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero on his back bumper.
It's just a little less scary at 3 wide here. The cars are just slightly narrower, it seems. You just got a little bit more space. They actually run pretty decently against the wall. The bubble just doesn't seem nearly as severe with the slowing down that you get with the B car or the C car when you run too high. So that 3rd lane seems to hold together pretty well. They get to stay above the entire seam. They're not worried about pinching as much. And now all 4 FSR cars, or all 5 of them, I guess, technically, with their 4.5, if you want to count Travis there, working together here to try and get the 12 car clear. He's almost there. Oh man, that was close.
It's getting close. You
Yeah,
can tell
for
they're
sure.
working hard to try and get all they can for this stage.
And you see that 14, he's like super glued to the back of the 1, but that 62 leaving a bit of a gap there. That bottom line is working so hard to prevent either lane from clearing. That middle lane doesn't seem to have anyone after the 21. The 85's sitting way back on him. So the top lane is actually the tightest that we see right now. All 5 cars just really nose to tail, look like they got what's going on. And the 8 has just said, I've had enough. I'm going to pit early and try and take a wave around on gas. There's no sense for me being up here. And probably a pretty smart play as long as he stays connected. He doesn't want to fall too far behind. He wants to make sure he can gas and go on 33 and then take the wave around then when the yellow does come out at the end of the stage.
Working lap 25, about ready to wrap it up as we're on to the front stretch and through the tri-oval. 10 laps remaining here in this opening stage. Remember, only 1 stage break in this one tonight at the completion of lap 35. So the 1, the 6, and the 12 out in front in charge of this race, but they're all kind of precariously racing side by side. But it does look like, as you mentioned, that car being a little bit more stable, not having that bubble. Zach Fritsch nosing out ahead just enough at the line. Sometimes that's all it takes. You don't necessarily have to lead the entire lap. Just gotta lead the last few inches of that lap. But he is working hard in that outer lane. Let's go on board with the 19 of Zach Workman as he pushes on the 12.
And the 33 is right there on him too. These three cars hooked up so well near the top. I think one of these guys is probably going to be the one that takes on the stage, to be honest. It's nothing against those guys down below, but every time one of those guys, either the 6, the 1, the 14, the 027, sometimes Sebastian, when he shows up, when they happen to not be in our Discord and hanging out on their own somewhere else, that's when they win the stage and we can't even interview them. Well, guess what? They're all here tonight. They're all inside their own room. You could drag them up if you want to, KR. You know what that means? That means they're probably not even going to win. It's not going to matter. And as the 12 clears, let's see how much he decides to block. That's what killed a stage for the 40 car and the 26 a couple weeks ago, when it was just too much blocking down there at the end. We got about 7 laps to go here in the stage. I'm going to see what this 12 car decides to do. If the 1 car gets him clear of the 6, is he going to jump mid, or is he going to hang low here to let the 33 potentially clear the 19 from the top as well?
You know, that 12, I think maybe making that move just a little bit too early, but wanting to hang out at the bottom of the track instead of the top for some reason.
I disagree. I think it was, you have to do it then, because by the time the 19 gets you there, you have no idea if he's ever going to get enough temperatures and good momentum to get you clear again. You have to take it. And this way gets you a chance to have, if you can't win the stage, maybe the 19 now can get clear with a 33 pushing him. And that would be the way that you get the 2 team cars up there, or like you see right now, the 33 and 19 kind of just aren't able to hook up as well. If the 12 had stayed up there, look how far back he might be now. So they're going to recompose themselves here. They're jumping middle, the 7, the 33, the 19. Now, to their credit, the 12 is here for points. You look at the standings, he is near the top. He had a P2 last week at ISS. He doesn't have nearly the comfort that the 19 does with the race win, or the 33 does with 2 race wins. Those guys are locked in. These stage points don't really matter to the 19 and the 33. They could just tear up a race car. 51 as well. He's in the 3rd lane. He won our season opener at ISS. In these cars.
Oh, Zach Fritsch out of shape.
There goes the 14 around. If you're checking up for the 1, he gets into the 62 there in the wall. You hate to see that.
Vicente Guerrero into the wall. Caution flag coming out. And that took a little bit to develop, as it looked like the 12 of Zach Fritsch got down onto the apron. Touched the apron. Let's see here. Looked like maybe the 1 of Zachary Lima gave him a bump that the 12 didn't like. And then that sent the chain reaction. Take another look here from on board the 14. And there you have it. That's all it takes. So caution flag coming out.
I don't hate where the 1 was trying to do there. I think the push there was important. He didn't want the 6 to clear and come down either. I think you do want to hit slightly left. I don't think there was any kind of negligence there on his part. I just hate it for the 14. He's our leader in points without a win this season. He's the one that's caring about, just let me get a top 5. Let me just finish this and bring home a lot of points. I don't need to win the stage. I don't need to win this race. Just let's score points. And that's the victim that's going to come out with no stage points, possibly down a fast repair. He's lucky that he doesn't have too much damage. He's actually able to get it back to pit road and not tow. Those guys, like the 12 and the 14, they're so concerned with points compared to a lot of these other guys at the front who are slicing and dicing with wins already.
Quite a few drivers did come down pit road. 16 cars stayed out. So these guys who have hit pit road will probably stay out when it comes to the end of the stage, although a few of them did have some damage to work on.
Yeah, 14's still on pit road, so that looks to me like he's not taking a fast repair. He's trying to maximize all the seconds that he can get out of this, and hopefully he will still be in good shape here at the end and have a car. The pace car is here right now, about to go into turn 3, it looks like. So the 14 trying to get every single second of damage fixed that he possibly can.
The Cody Nagels, your race leader, Steve Karosik, Daniel Holloway, rounding out your top 3.
And it looks like we're getting word, obviously, these guys all stayed out here. That is not going to be the end of the stage. The wreck happened in turn 4 on lap 30. So that's 6 laps to go in the stage. Had the wreck happened about a quarter mile later or so, then it probably would have been staged. But this is going to be a little 2-lap shootout here. We're going to restart on lap 34. That is great news. Well, maybe not great news, because you might see some of these guys here hit towards the end of the lead lap and then stay out on the stage end. That would be really devastating for these guys who are 1 lap down. We got a handful of cars who are in that situation right now. We got the 071, the 11, the 04, the 38. They're all sitting there thinking, how do I get this lap back? How can I make it happen? Well, they got to make sure they pass everybody who just pitted. So they should be taking mental notes right now. What cars have just pitted here? Who could I be worried about staying out on lap 35? Those are the guys that they need to pass here. So when that happens, they can get waved around the pace car.
All right, so the lights have gone out on the pace car, and the field is stacked up side by side. Gonna have a shootout to the end of this stage. And Peter, a shootout always kind of ramps it up just a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of names here that probably shouldn't care about stage points so much. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I don't think that 19 cares at all where he finishes. All he's trying to do is get that 12 an extra position or 2, because that 12 doesn't have a win yet. How do we get this guy more points? So it wouldn't surprise me if you see the 19 leave the 12 a little bit of space to jump middle maybe, or if they, don't get as great of a restart and the 12's able to jump up and make some moves around the 21. 21's got to win already, so he might just be going to try and get an interview with us, or maybe he'll go to the back and try and save a car. It'll be interesting to see what some of these guys choose to do.
Who'd want to have an interview with us? I don't know, but the green flag is out, and we'll figure out who gets that interview.
I think he wants to look at him on the 6. He's trying to push him clear of the 27 right now. And the 19 gets underneath. Oh, they tried to follow him down for a block. Good save there all around at the front. That could have been massive. But you're right, the shootout has seemed to amp it up. Is the 51 going to take him 3, or is he going to stay on the 027 here? Korosek has a stage win as recently as a couple weeks ago. Travis Elliott says he wants an interview as well. Look at these guys go to the top. They don't care if they got a race win already.
3 wide through turns 3 and 4. The 51 to Travis Elliott. And the 7 to Josh Milam working that 3rd lane. Crosby Sr. can't quite decide where he wants to go. Cody Nagels, though,
oh, wow, the move by the 21. That could be it here. That could be the move that wins in the stage. He jumps in front of the 027 there. He's going to get clear of Nagels here, probably in the middle of 1 and 2, depending on if the 19 can get back to him. All right, the 19 did get to the 6. Does the 12 jump high? He's got his 2 teammates up top there, the 51 and the 7. He can go up there, or he can try and stay mid. I think he should go bottom to be safe, but he's going for it. Let's see how many points the 12 can get here as well. Look at the 21 and the 51, though. Just trying to clear this 6.
Final lap of this stage. Got to get to the start-finish line. Everyone running that much closer to each other. Here they come off of turn number 4. The 6 of Cody Nagels had it off of 4, but here comes the 21 of Daniel Holloway.
Oh, pinch.
Big pinch, but not enough. Cody Nagels at the line. At least
What
that's
a
how it looked
stage
from
there,
my
and those
point of
guys
view.
kept it clean. What a good job. Those guys pushing really hard for the stage, being respectful there. Yellow comes out. They were able to gather everything back up. Great job by all the drivers involved there, because that, like I said, that could always end in a disaster. You see it all too often where guys are fighting for an extra point here or there, and it's really good to see that we could get that hard racing. And I know no one wants to drive under caution 2 laps like after we did there, but look at the racing it produced. That was an awesome 2 laps.
Yeah, it was an outstanding opening stage and a lot of action, a lot of 3-wide racing going on. However, the 6 of Cody Nagels comes away with that one. At least I'm assuming. It looked like it from my point of view. I don't know if you saw the same thing I did.
It's on the tower. He's leading coming to the pace car. Yeah, everything here we got says that was definitely the 6. Maybe it'll take it away if it fails post-race inspection, but I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I guess I could do tech and start making it fail.
I think he was a little distracted there because he is parked on the entrance of pit road here. He drove around way too fast waiting for that pace car. And I guess he was either hooting and hollering and celebrating a stage win or chatting and figure out what they were going to do pit strategy-wise, and might have lost his bearings there. But good job for Cody. He becomes our 8th different stage winner this season.
Well, while we have a moment, let's go ahead and show our stages before this one. Is Peter deBorja coming in with 3 stage wins. Nice job, Peter.
That just shows anybody can do it.
And so now Cody Nagels going to be added to that group.
That's quite a bit of heavy hitters there. My name's the one that probably doesn't belong. You look at all those other guys you see, guys who've been dominant in a bunch of other leagues, guys who typically lead a ton of laps here. Now we got a couple podium 500 participants there. Just quite the list of names on that stage wins list, and me. And
all right, you ready to talk to Cody?
Yeah, bring him on in. Let's do it.
All right, I'll tell you, man.
All right, cool. Let me know when he's here, I guess. I guess I'll look up here and see. Did we drag him in right now? There he is. Cody, it's Peter up in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I know everyone didn't want to see that caution. I know it was tough to see a couple teammates getting involved there with the 1 and the 14, and it felt like you probably weren't going to have as many friends, especially with the 27 there in the middle instead of down there with you. What was it like doing a 2-lap shootout in the ARCA cars for some stage points that, for all intents and purposes, they didn't really matter to you because you've already got a race win for this season? What was that like?
I still want to, like, the competitive side of me still wants to race a little bit, but I was trying to race with my rear view mirror because obviously I didn't really have anyone there. So just trying to hold the bottom at the very least. If I'm getting past, I feel like I'm going to get a good stage points out of it. I know, like you said, it doesn't really matter, but no, I'd still like to keep the track position to be able to give my teammates a chance to win at the end of the race. So
for sure. It was one of those things where we saw Holloway, we saw Workman, we saw Elliott and you up there, and it's like, how are these 4 guys near the front going to handle this at the end? Are these guys going to be like, I already got a race win, I can just throw completely balls to the wall, and if I just come back to the pits of the steering wheel, whatever, I'll get a fast repair and come back out because I've already got a win? Or are we going to be ultra conservative because I got a teammate who's running 6th and I want to try and sweep him to 5th or 4th so they get some more stage points because they're cutting it close? It was curious. You guys raced as aggressive as you could, but safe. How many times we've seen so many wrecks there at the end of stages before, and it was just great to see that. I think if Holloway had stayed a little bit higher instead of trying to pinch there, Dan, he might have got you. So that was really close. I hope you go back and watch that because that was quite a finish.
yeah, for sure. I think everyone's just kind of trying to race a little bit smarter now so they can get some teammates locked in. So I think that's the mentality if you're locked in, is get teammates locked in. So it's been a fantastic race so far in the ARCA car. I'm glad to see we're bringing it back, and it's making for a fantastic race.
Cool, man. Any shout outs there that you want to give us here before we send you back to green?
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for broadcasting. I want to thank my Dale Cup teammates I'm running with tonight.
Cool. That is Cody Nagels in the number 6 out there. Restarting here, P4 for stage 2. Go get him, man.
Uh-oh, I put him in the wrong one.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
awesome.
got him that time.
I was like, that'll really, that is always fun.
Oh, man, I screwed it up really bad Monday.
Oh, yeah. It looks like they're going green here. You got the 6 and the 27. 27 coming out really, really high there in that pit stop. He did not pit. The 47 did not pit. As we talked about, a couple of those guys were going to pit on lap 32 or so. We're not going to pit on that stage caution. That did keep the 04 a lap down. It kept the 11 a lap down, the 071 a lap down. So we got a lot of guys here who are going to be super duper aggressive coming up here in the next little bit. That it'll be interesting to see who's going to be battling for this lucky dog, because we've now seen some crashes near the front. You're going to want to make sure that you can benefit as soon as that yellow does come out.
So Sean Stevens, Richard Kuhn, last on pit road on lap 32. That was the caution that we had. So they use that to their advantage. Here comes what looks like 2 cars on the pit road. As Steve Karosik and Cody Nagels.
That has to be on schedule. That must be they didn't put fuel in or something, and they pitted here under yellow. They must have had their number set incorrectly or something. That we are not in the window yet. I know we said 19 to 20-ish. We got to go to lap 70, so this would be a very, very short pit here. I'm not quite sure, but Korosek had a very, very short pit stop there. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if there was a penalty of some kind he had to serve, but the 6 is still on pit road.
Yeah, problems for the 6. That is a long pit stop. Come away with the stage win, and then 1 lap later you are sitting on pit road and not sure what happened there. Maybe a speeding penalty coming on the pit lane too.
Yeah, that's got to be, that has to be what it is at this point. I can't imagine that this was in the plan at the beginning of the stage. I don't know what happened there. We'll have to try and do some digging there and figure that out. I guess I can go chat with some of the teams and report back in just a sec.
Yeah, he is down and away now, but a long pit stop, 35 seconds for him. So tough break. Come away with that stage win and now find yourself 1 lap down just 4 laps later. Zach Fritch in the 12, your race leader. 21 of Daniel Holloway on his back bumper, as we have sent our in-booth reporter to the pit road to figure out what happened to Cody Nagels. Trying to branch out to 3 wide, the 7 of Josh Milam up in that 3rd lane. Nobody up there with him just yet. 46. Not going to go up there with him, or he does. For a minute I thought he was pulling back down. So the 46 is up there. Now the 15 slides up there as well. And there's Peter back. Welcome back, Peter.
Remember when we were watching the 6 after he won that stage? And we were thinking, oh man, he's out there celebrating with his friends. Got a passing the pace car penalty entering pit road there. But it looks like we got a yellow. That might be a good break for him here if he took some fuel at the same time. We'll see if he's able to take the wave round.
We have had a big crash coming out of the trioval. Several cars involved in this one. Not sure what happened here, but let's take a look. The 15 gets punted into the wall by the 9, but contact had happened that sent the 9 around. Looks like the 9 making contact with the 17, and then everything breaks loose from there.
Man, that is a not a good feeling there when you feel this car go around, because it's not as bad as the 87s, but it is not that difficult for these to get a little airborne. And like we said before, a hard hit on one side can just knock the steering out entirely, and then you're towing. So it's good. It's good to see a lot of these cars are able to limp back around, but man, there was some pretty hard hits there, especially that towards pit exit. Looks like a lot of them got them all rolling there, but wow, that's the new damage model, man. It gets you real nervous that something real bad could happen and you can meatball something real easy.
Take another look as we're on board with Eric Laurie. So, as sideways as everyone was, just a few cars smacked the wall. Everything else looked like it kind of sorted itself out.
Yeah. It's just good communication from teammates there, letting them know wreck's happening. This car does slow down the best of the 3 cars that we drive. So not surprised that if you could see it, and that's one of the best visual spots there. Like, even if you're quite far behind the pack, that little kink in the tri-oval lets you see a little bit further ahead than you could in turn 1 or even on the backstretch when you're behind so many cars. So that's probably the best place from a visual standpoint for a wreck to occur. To not have the what's it called, the ARCA braking, you know, the namesake of the evening. We didn't have too many guys running in there without any information and just sending it into other cars, and that the location helped, but this vehicle did as well.
Okay, so 26 laps to go, not quite in the fuel window.
I was going to ask you, KR, are you a gambling man?
Not really, because it doesn't work very well for me.
So I think you should be a gambling man in certain scenarios and you shouldn't be in others. If you're Zach Fritsch right here in P2, I would not be a gambling man. I'm running decent in points. I don't have a win. I'm not locked in. A top 5 is really, really great. I don't necessarily need to win, but a 20th or a 30th could be devastating. So I would not be gambling if I'm Zach Fritsch. However, if I'm somebody who's just here with the win already and it doesn't matter to me, like the 33 or the 21 or the 19 or the 51, or I'm somebody who makes not very many starts in Wednesdays and I'm not even really running for a championship, like the 4 or the 38 or some of these other guys who are just out here to have a good Wednesday night, they're not really thinking about points. They could be saving fuel right now. And I know what you're thinking. You said 19.8 out front, 20 laps in traffic. That's under green. If we have a couple more cautions and you're shutting the engine off all the way around, you absolutely can make 24 laps, topping off here and restarting on lap 47. But you're just going to need enough caution laps for it to matter. So think about the guys that we see on Mondays and Wednesdays running the try. I'm talking about guys like Sean Stevens. You see guys like Les Levy, David Overstreet. They always seem to take that long fuel strategy. I'm wondering what guys like the 44 are thinking. Those are guys who are just known for good fuel mileage, the 88 as well. Are they shutting it off right now and topping off and thinking to themselves, if I just get a caution or two, I think I might go for it. I wouldn't do it if I was the 12. I wouldn't do it if I was the 14. The points matter too much to me in those scenarios. But if I'm one of those guys who can afford to gamble, this is bringing that situation. It might unfold that way. You could stay out here and it might be lap 59. You've got 13 laps in your tank. Everybody else is already pitted and they think they're good for green, white checkers. And then you get a caution on 61 and then a caution on 67. And all of a sudden you can make it. So we'll see what they do here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm taking this gamble. That's a bit of a far one.
I think you can consider it. Just depends on your situation. You think Rick Seabrands came out here to finish 11th?
No.
He came out here to try to win, try to help a teammate win, or whatever. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So why not? Why not give it a shot? Or you can gamble the other way. You could pit on like lap 50, 51, give yourself nothing for green, white checkers, but you get to pit first. And if you pit with some friends, it might be the fastest.
Oh, I don't know. See, that's why I'm not a gambling man, because as soon as I gamble one way, it goes the whole other way.
Right. So that'll be interesting to see. I mean, you have a lot of choices. It also might just depend where you restart here. The 12 might not have an opportunity to gamble because he's just stuck on the outside for a while. I know that 33 wants to let his teammate down, but that 21 has better ideas. He's shoving the 33 so much that he's trying to get clear on the outside. So let's see how this goes. A lot of new numbers in the front, though. Check out the 510 up there. Richard Sanchez, he's always finds his way here eventually. 77's back up front again, and Harold Rafferty, after the issues we saw earlier with him, is now right back up there, restarting in 8th.
Do want to point out that with all these kind of quick cautions that we've had here in the last 15 laps, we are down to just 2 cars not on the lead lap. Bob Lacavera, the only car 1 lap down. David Overstreet, multiple laps down. That is 29th and 30th. 31st is Dude Conrad, and Conrad has been on pit road for the last 13 minutes. So tough break for the dude.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, Mark Mann's back, and not only is he back, he's climbing. He's had a really fast restart here. He's making his way back up front, already up to P21 after just getting this lucky dog. He's caught up to Eric Lurie right now and trying to claw his way towards the front. He knows he's got some Alliance teammates up there. He's got Holloway, he's got Seabrands. He's trying to get up to those guys. Wouldn't be shocked if they tried to do a short pit either. Mark, Daniel already have wins. Rick's not racing for the championship. Those guys can get super aggressive, whether it's pitting early or staying out late. Who knows what they're going to do, but you know they're going to be a force again.
Up front, the 33 is your race leader, a 12 of Zach Fritsch. On the outside, well, Fritchie has really enjoyed the outside lane.
Yeah, well, we know he's not gambling now because he didn't decide to go to the back to try and save. None of these guys in the first 3 rows can be someone who's planning on staying out and doing that. It looks like, though, that some cars have decided to roll to the back. That 27 I was talking about before, he always seems to like to run it dry. He's running a little bit further behind the pack, though, than I would be comfortable with. He probably has ended up burning a little bit more fuel, but that 14 is back there saving some fuel. The 17, the 85. Some of those guys there just might be chilling and just kind of seeing how it unfolds in a little bit here. I'd love to see the throttle mapping on what that 44 is doing, too, because he is one of the best at having more fuel in the car than anybody else by the time a stint is about to end. So really, really interesting to see here. Even if you're not going to stay out that long, just the saving of fuel right now means that last pit stop might be a little bit shorter too. So a little less aggressive here. You just see the 2 lanes. No one's thinking of going 3. They're all thinking about how they're going to get to the bottom. And a little wiggle out of the 33 might be enough for the 12 to clear here. Coming down the back, we'll see.
21 of Holloway pushing on the back bumper of that 33. Well, by pushing, I mean kind of there. Doesn't want to push on it too hard because right now he is squared up to it. We talked about earlier in this broadcast how if you do push, you want to push on them squared up. A little bit more, I believe you said left of center. David Livingston has pulled it on a pit road and into his pit stop. We'll see if that is a scheduled pit stop, and he is the only one trying to gamble here.
Yeah, that sure is a gamble. I mean, if a yellow came out right now, you know he wouldn't pit, and you know he could make it. He'd love to have some friends. He doesn't, sadly, for this stop, but we'll see where it unfolds. If I start pitting soon, maybe he won't end up losing too much ground here. Check out that outside lane, though, about 5 or 6 cars back, the 88, the 04, the 6. These are guys 15 minutes ago we were thinking about how are they ever going to get their laps back if guys are staying out at the stage and all that stuff. And here they are, all 3 of them. They've all gotten their cautions they needed. They're all back in the lead lap. They're all capable of winning a race like this. So now they just got to find their way to the bottom. I'm curious as to what their fuel strategy is. If they ended up taking a wave, they might be shorter on fuel than some of their teammates. At 44 is working with the 04 tonight. He might be able to let him down. But I don't know if he wants to let the 88 down, too. They might be not so keen on trying to let other drivers down. And you can just see that it's starting to get there. The 12's gotten clear. It looks like they might be going soon. FSR's got almost everybody to the bottom. Just the 9 car still up top there. And the 51, trying to find where the 7's also on the bottom. So they might be coming either next time by. But 52 right here, lap 53. You pit now and you can go 19.8 laps. That's a green, white checkered in pocket. I don't know if it's both of them, but it's at least one of them. So I think it's going to be busy coming to pit road here.
Yeah, our fuel window is for sure going to be open this time around. And it's been a pretty clean race. So time and time again, the sooner you hit pit road, where the first group that hits pit road ends up becoming the first leaders. And so here comes the 12 and quite a few other cars on the inside line.
33 decides to send it as well. It looks like they're pretty safe there. 19's coming in a little hot, but I think they all got down there okay. They got a lot more cars this time, too. It's not just the 12 and the 19. They got plenty of pals. Let's see how organized they get out of the pits. If they come out in a complete perfect straight unit there, this is going to be the group that's leading in just a second.
All right, so Richard Sanchez takes over the top spot. 510 leading the 51.
And the 12 and the 33 got quite the jump on the rest of the squad they pitted with there. Pit exit here can be a little bit tricky in this car. You can't quite take it flat out like you can in the truck for the most part there. There's a yellow, and that's going to help out those guys so much that just pitted. So the guys who just pitted are in a great spot because we know the leaders are going to have to pit here. Looks like Travis Elliott, Richard Sanchez, Gabe Butler made it to pit road. I'm not quite sure if they made it there too late. We'll see if they get black flags for pitting while it's closed or not. But wow, what a break for the 33, the 12, the 44, and even the one we saw before. Livingston there pitted a little bit early. We were scared about how he was going to lose the pack. He's in a great spot now as well.
I did see one car go through the grass as they were trying to come down pit road and then quickly aborted. I didn't quite catch who that was.
Does look like those guys did not get penalties for pitting while the pits were closed, or at least we're not seeing them yet. They're not getting told to let the cars by. Looks like the 510, the 51, the 88, they're going to be in the catbird seat. And then our cars that we just watched on pit road a second ago, the 33, the 12, the 44, 21, 19, 17, 7, etc. Those guys will be next. But everyone first through 14th is probably going to pit here. And that's going to impact then, you know, it's going to just basically turn this order upside down. Those guys who were staying out and they thought they were going to get some good track position with some hot laps here, they're going to get cycled to the back. Now everyone's going to be good on fuel. There's not going to be any more pit strategy. So you're going to have to make up your track position yourself. That could be a lot of three wide racing and some crazy stuff. And the 88's slow on the track. There he goes. Now he's speeding up. I wonder what that was about.
So good heads up move by Mark Mann in the 04. Saw the caution lights come on, peeled off through the grass, hold on through the grass without going down onto pit road. But regardless, Jeff Crosby, Zach Fritsch, that group that pitted first, they have found themselves as our race leaders.
And it looks to me, my guess is that some of those cars there, the 51, the 88, the 510, they didn't get on the pit road in time because they're coming back down pit road here. They're getting fuel. They're giving up that track position. So my guess is they had a black flag or an EOL there for entering a closed pit. It was just bad timing when that yellow came out. It looks like that yellow was thrown, let's see here, by iRacing. So it wasn't even like an admin press. It was just, there was a crash that caused the yellow and they were just too close to pit entry and they had to go through anyway. So tough break for those guys. Had they made it to pit road like a second or two sooner, that would have been no problem.
Yeah, we saw the cars that got involved in that crash. Zachary Lima, David Overstreet, and a couple of others taking some damage, taking some hits. So the 33 is the race leader, and lights are going to go out on the pace car, and everyone should have enough fuel now to make it green, white, checkered or not. Stacking up side by side, 2 by 2 with the lights out on the pace car. We're going to get rolling once again.
Yeah, just a few. There's only 2 faster pairs used amongst the top 10 right there. A few more sprinkled further back. It could get really aggressive up here though, because without any more pit stops, your only way to get to the front's driving there. and some of these guys have almost no damage on their car. There are 5 drivers in the top 10 that haven't used their fast repair yet that have 0 incidents. So those guys are probably thinking to themselves, I can handle this. I'm going to drive this up there, stick it 3 wide, see what happens, and if it doesn't work out, I got an extra car in the truck. So these last few laps here, these last 13 laps could be absolutely insane.
Insanity, huh? I'm here for it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, some of these guys are, it's a little bit of a mixed bag, right? Like that 17 would love to win a race. That would be a very popular win if he were able to get it done. You know, the 12 wants to win. You want to hear a good OP stat for you?
Sure.
All right. If Zach Fritsch wins tonight, all right. If we're talking about Zach Fritsch here, okay, we're not talking about like Rick Seabrands or Hunter Reynolds here. Zach Fritsch, like it is if that I meant what I said. If he wins tonight, he becomes, I believe, the 6th driver to have won multiple times at all 4 OP tracks. I'll let you think about who you think the other ones are.
I don't, you know what? I don't know. Green flag is out though, 13 laps to go.
Zach has won the tough place, iRacing Super Speedway. It hasn't been around as long. There are a lot of incredible OP drivers, Hall of Famers even, that have never won a race at iRacing Super Speedway in OP, let alone multiples. Mark Mann, another one of the best ones there. Logan Helton, with his win on Monday, is now one of those people. Josh Milam, obviously, one of the best at 08, one of the best at ISS. He's there. Jim Mayer, sneaky good at ISS. Got a lot of wins there in the truck. He's done really, really good things there on Saturdays, and good finishes, including a podium on Monday. And with my Mickey win last week, I joined that very illustrious group. So let's see if Fritsch can get it done tonight there. I know he wants to. Oh, we got a spin. Nate Warren going around in the middle of the pack there. When he gets collected by Richard Sanchez. Yellow flag coming out again for that. I wonder if that was a bad bump again, or if that was just the car getting loose. We'll have to go back to the replay and check that out.
All right, let's check this out. Yellow flag coming out for the 9 of Nate Warren. And looks like contact maybe with the 62 or the 9 getting into the apron. Hard to tell right there. Kind of happening at the same time. Take another look here. I think it's just a bad bump, and around goes the 9, the 510, and Richard Kuhn.
You kind of see it happen ahead. Look at the 04 in this incident. The 04 really close to the 77, and then he has to check up, and as a result, the 9 has to check up. And you can only do the chain so many times before some guy's not going to be able to react in time. And it just seems like the checkup there caught the 62 a little bit off guard. He caught up to the 9 a little bit faster than he liked and turned him around. It's not really anyone's fault there. It's just when you can't see what the checkup is for, it's a lot harder to anticipate it. So, you know, 10 laps to go here. You can't really blame these guys for pushing that hard towards the end. Just wrong place, wrong time.
So the 33 holds on to the race lead. Daniel Holloway, Zach Fritsch, and Jimmy Reynolds, with Vicente Guerrero rounding out your top 5.
That Cody Neagle's coming back from that pit penalty. Top 10. Zach Lima just took a fast repair. Was in a big wreck or a pit entry a little bit ago. E11. Here's guys who are Zach Fritsch there and Jeff Crosby have been up front all night. Daniel Holloway's been up at the front all night. Vicente Guerrero caught in that crash up before the end of the stage. P5. Anthony English, we're talking about him saving fuel before. He's up to P6. That's kind of the spot you want to be in these cars too. It doesn't mean you have to push the guy in front of you when you're in that third row. So we'll see if he decides to go 3, if the 19 will go with him, or if the 77 will go up there. If the 44 decides to go, that's going to be a pretty popular place. We'll just see who happens to pick up and jump up there first.
A lot of cars down on the apron trying to save as much fuel as they can. Just putting a little extra in the bank, if you will, for those long green, white checkered attempts.
I think that's just habitual to them. They just do that all the time now. I feel like we used to see it. If you go look at old OP broadcasts, there'd be a couple of cars doing it from time to time. Now it seems like everybody just does it under every caution. And, you know, it's better to do it that way than to forget to do it, I guess. But these guys shouldn't be close on fuel. They pitted on lap 53-ish. They had enough fuel for the green whites anyway, and we've had 2 cautions since then. So unless they change the rules and we've got 3 or 4 green white checkers to worry about, I think they're going to be fine. I can't imagine anyone taking fuel here. Now, if you got a little bit of damage, throw an extra gallon in to be safe. But yeah, you see the 9's on pit road right now. A couple other cars towards the end of the lead lap deciding to swing in there. Still some 0 incident perfect cars at the front, though.
All right, so this one getting down to the nitty gritty. 9 laps to go with the lights going out on the pace car. We restart. We'll have 8 to go. Keep in mind, we will have 2 attempts at a green white checkered if we need them. I don't know. Might need them. What are you gambling on? So the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. and the 21 of Daniel Holloway lined up, ready to get going.
I'm thinking if I'm gambling here, when do I want to go 3? If I'm that 44, do I want to stay just right there until the very end and then try to make a move, or am I going to be getting out there early hoping the 19 goes with me? That's going to be, I think, what's going to be interesting is how fast is that third lane coming to play, because there's so many backup cars, so many guys with 0 incidents, so many guys who don't care if they wreck or not because they're already locked into the playoffs. Like, all the reason to see a bunch of fireworks. Look what we saw at the end of the stage. We gave them 2 laps. We had 4 cars in the top 5 that were already locked into the playoffs, and they were still driving like that. Now you're dangling a ticket to the playoffs. That 17 could punch his ticket in. That 12 could punch his ticket. That 14 could steal a spot. Like, he's been dying. He's been working for points all year. He'd love to be able to relax. So let's see which one of these guys here, what are they going to do? Are they going to get the third lane? Are they going to go middle? Are they going to go high? It's going to be something exciting.
Ooh, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to finish this one out and see who comes away with the race win. 8 laps to go, green flag in the air. Here we go once again.
21 got a good jump. He's a little bit separate from the 17, though. That 12 and 14 are just glued to the 33. That bottom lane's going to roll. Little checkup from that 44. I don't know if that's because he saw something there or if he's trying to get a run here coming out of the corner. But that bottom lane is just trucking through. Now, is the 12 going to stay on the 33, or is he going to move? He's definitely moving up. He's like, I got to lead this thing if I want to win this thing. I'm not going to be able to win this thing from the second row. Now, how hard's the 21 going to hit him? Don't take his back wheels off the ground. That's good ease on there because they had a good run. Now he's pushing the 12. Rick Seabrand's laying off the bottom a little bit there, just trying to keep an eye on things. The 4 and the 17 in that third row, leaving a car length or so bit of a gap. 17 peaked now. Is he going to go third? Is that what they're thinking here? Coming down here with just 7 laps to go.
All right, down to 7 laps, the 33 and the 12. 2 drivers who have been up front for a majority of this race. The 14 of Vicente Guerrero stalking right there, second car on the inside line.
Oh, 7 rows back. Look who it is.
3
7
wide.
to 51. FSR, here they come. You know the 19's going to jump out. The 44's got to get up there. No, the 77's going to look at that. They got to go 3 now. The 44 cannot hesitate. He cannot let the 19 beat him to that spot if they're going to fight for it. 19 staying mid. Wow, and look at the 7 just pull along. The 51's not even on him. Just the side draft and how far the 44 is sticking out just a little bit to help out the 7. Now here comes the 17 jumping up with the 21. They're going to leave Zach Fritsch in the middle. How far back is he going to fall? How aggressive is he going to be to try and stay up here? We know that he wants a win to get himself into the playoffs. The 14 has 2. We got a wreck up top.
Oh, the 7's into the wall. Now the 4 and the 12 make contact. Caution flag coming out once again, and several cars involved, just as Sean Stevens had turned the fastest lap of the race at a 45.03. Josh
Where are you
Milam
going first?
got,
You going for the start, or you going for the second wreck?
I'm going to start at Josh Milam getting up and into the wall here. Need to back that up just a little bit further. Oh, even further. Good grief. All right, here we go. Let's see what happened to Josh Milam. As the 17 looked like the 17 just got into the wall.
That's the danger of these cars. It's not that you can push the pusher like you can in the next gen, but that third car is so important to the momentum. So you can see how close Josh needs to be to Jimmy there. And look how close Travis is to Josh. There isn't a chance for a checkup to happen. There, in the B car, you get a little bit of an opportunity to lift and collect it there. But these cars, especially coming down to the end of the race, you're just going to be right on the bumper. Oh, and I think I can see, it looks like the 6 and the 12 get together, and that's what sends the 12 into the 4. I don't think I was listening to the radio chatter. I don't think the 12 knows that him and the 6 got together first there. Not really anyone's fault there. They don't really. The 12 knows there's a wreck happening, so he's just trying to get as low as possible. The 6 just running his normal line. He's not really trying to let them escape. He doesn't know that they need to escape. He could have been a foot or two lower, but that's not his responsibility there either if he doesn't know about it. So just a tough break. The 12 coming down a little bit on the 6 there. That turns him into the 4, and then the 12 gets the worst of it.
Yeah, the 12 of Zach Fritch had a good run going, and now this contact here late in the race. But quite a few cars got torn up in this one with 5 laps to go. Yellow flag
11
back
car.
out.
11 car back on the lead lap, or is he now just 1 down? He might be back. I'm showing he is the lucky dog here. He's coming around top side. He is back on the lead lap. So that gives us now, well, the 17 just went a lap down, and the 28 just went 2 laps down. So I guess that actually, that net negative, that's never mind. Still 26 cars in the lead lap out of 31 with 4 to go. So that ain't bad. That could be worse, right? 26 out of 31. When I was a kid growing up, if you told me I got 26 out of 31 on like a science test, I'd be ecstatic, right? So we can be happy with that.
Absolutely. Why not?
All right, who you like now? Since half of our favorites just got tore up there. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I know better than to say anything like that. I like all the drivers that are out there.
Why don't you just pick somebody that you want to lose? That way it happens to them, and then you can be like, ha, it worked out.
See, because then everyone starts learning who I don't like.
Oh, I don't care if they know I don't like them. That's fine. I only don't like them because I know they don't like me, or because they inconvenience me somehow by saying in Discord that I would help out some new guy with paint schemes or something. So, yeah. I don't know, man. That 4 car just always seems to have what it takes to find his way to the front here, and he's got all this ARCA experience on Wednesday. Wait, no, he doesn't. How is this guy up here again? Has he even ever? Did he have to buy this car today?
Maybe.
Yeah, someone just had a blue Yeti paint scheme already made for him. Are there even any bat symbols on the 04? What is this?
I don't think so. It usually when it's just an all black.
Yeah.
I thought he had a Dirty Harry one, but I guess not. Not for this one.
Let's looking through the field here, just trying to find what cars are still clean after those last couple big wrecks. Which guys still have a faster pair in pocket if they want. Our leader, Jeffrey Crosby, the only driver in the field with 0 incidents. So that could just be enough. Maybe the car is just clean, you know. Vicente This is 12 incident points, but he's already used a fast repair. He might not have any damage in this thing. This might be perfectly clean for all we know. Rick Seabrand's got 9 incident points and has not used his fast repair, so we'll see how well he's able to push. I really thought that 44 was going to go third lane when FSR was going. I thought he was going to go too. He stayed committed to the middle. Now he's the pusher, so he's even more motivated to stay committed. I know that 19's going to be jumping out. We'll just see if he ever gets any help, because cars behind him there, I'm not so sure they will. We'll see.
All right, pace car down and away. Here we go. Green flag is out. The 33 and the 14. Two very strong runners out in front. 2 laps to go. What you got in mind there, Peter?
The 6
Who's it
cars
gonna be?
making like crazy. Everyone's jumping up above them. That leaves just 3 cars in the bottom. Nobody behind Cody and Eagles to help out Rick and Jeff, and they're still going to get some space here. Here comes the 214 moving his way up to 7th there to try and help that bottom lane. You know that 6 is trying to help that 14. If that 44 and that 19 jump to the 3rd lane, that 6 is jumping middle immediately. So let's see what happens here. The 14 is almost clear. Look at the push he's getting from Anthony English. So far, the top lane seems committed to him. They've only got 3 cars.
Yeah, they're hanging in there. Very tough for only having 3 cars. Here we come to get the white flag. Got to get to the white flag before the caution happens, and no green-white checkered attempts.
Can Vicente get the win here? Can he get win number 1? Or can Jeff get win number 3? Or is it going to be someone from way back? Lots of movement back here. Look how fast the 88's coming. He's got the 51 glued to him right now. Is the 19 going to go up top with him too? That 88's not going to hang middle. Here they go up top. 3rd lane coming. It's going to be 3 wide entering turn 3. Oh my gosh, the momentum that just those 2 cars have right now.
Man, that 88 is shot to the front, stays to the high side.
He's going to get turned because the 51's still glued to him, and he's going to get bumped a little bit there. They have to lift. Oh, there's a wreck down in the back. The 44 right there trying to push the 14. They're all going side by side. It's just the 14 and the 33.
And Vicente Guerrero at the line, noses ahead. The 33 second, and Harold Rothery brings
what a finish
home in 3rd.
What a finish there. That was an incredible turn of events. I mean, no one wants to see the race end in a giant wreck there at the end, but by God, I mean, you don't ever get to see that sort of that drama unfold that way because all the cars push so well and all the other vehicles we have. But that 88 was so clear, you thought he'd be able to go to the bottom, but as soon as he started the move, you could tell the 51 would turn him if he turned any further left. And it added a whole new dynamic there. What a move there. And then everyone lost their pushers, and it was just head to head, 14 versus 33. And he just got it by a nose. 5 1,000ths of a second.
That's stinking close as the 14 celebrates by doing donuts in the grass. Let's go through the race results very quickly here. Vicente Guerrero, Jeff Crosby, Harold Rothery, Andy Brigante, and Adam Kilday, your top 5. Jeff Crosby Sr., Daniel Holloway, Gabe Butler, Travis Elliott, Eric Laurie in the top 10. Then Cody Nagel's 11th, Rick Seabrand's 12th, 13th Dan Harrington, Anthony English 14th, 15th goes to Richard Kuhn, Zach Fritsch 16th, 17th Nate Warren, Mark Mann ending up in 18th spot after being caught up in that crash through turns 3 and 4. Les Leedy and Zach Workman round out your top 20. Then it's Bob Lacavera in 21st, 22nd goes to Zachary Lima, Steve Karosik, 23rd, 24th, Richard Sanchez, 25th, Sean Stevens, David Booth, 26th, 27th, Josh Milam, David Overstreet, 28th, 29th, Jimmy Reynolds, then David Livingston and Dude Conrad round out our 31-car field here tonight. But our race winner, that is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero as he is celebrating by trying to burn this down.
Look at that, burning them down, burning them out like these old mid-2000s cars. Special shout out to 3rd through 6th place. Harold Rothery, first podium, I think in OP for him. That's awesome to be able to get an interview. Awesome, just awesome job, new to Wednesdays. Andy Brigante had so much bad luck lately. Awesome to see him get a top 5 again. It's been a minute for him since his win in Monday's last season. Adam Kilday with the top 5, and Jeff Crosby Sr.'s got to be elated with the bad luck he's had lately with the top 10 there too. So really proud of those guys. Obviously, Vicente and Jeff are the stars of the show there, coming to the checkered, but the 3rd through 6th there all have to be really proud of their finish as well.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to let you fire it off by talking to our race winner.
Vicente, it's Peter up in the booth, man. You copy? Can you hear me over your engine?
Hell yeah, I can.
Awesome job, man. Dude, were you even looking in your mirror? Did you have any idea what was happening behind you, or were you just windshield only?
For sure. No. I seen the mirror. I seen everything going on, and I go. The bottom had no help. I had no help. I had a side draft. I had the better run, I believe.
Dude, the whole green-white checkered, it was just the 3 of you cars up there. I just felt like the bottom was just going to prevail eventually. I was thinking to myself, like, how are those 3 guys really going to make it work with just the 14, the 44, the 19 right there? Is it really gonna happen? And you guys held around for so long. When you took the white flag, what percent did you give yourself to win this thing?
Oh, I gave myself a highly percentage, probably a
really?
95% chance I would have won.
Oh,
especially
wow.
being out in the mid. But it truly fell down at entering turn 3 when the outside was coming.
Oh, yeah.
Hellacious run. I'm like, oh shit, there goes my percentage drop to like 10.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have won this race if they weren't NARCA cars. I don't know how much you were able to see, but he tried to clear, and as soon as he did, he felt it was going to get turned. He felt the back wheels go up off the ground, and everybody lifted, and that's what killed the run. So if that was a B car, a next gen, or a truck, I think the 88 clears the bottom. I don't know if he wins, but I have a feeling that he doesn't fall back as far as he did there. That was just a wild finish, seeing just you and the cleanest car left in the field. That 33 next to you. 0 incident points, 0 fast repairs used. You, on the other hand, were already on your 2nd car, were involved in a few things earlier. Was your car perfect at the end, or were you also just limping it home?
No. My car was perfect at the end. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I had a clean car.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to when it's just mano a mano there. It was great side draft work there, and awesome respect between you guys. I know when you see that carnage and people are desperate for the win, and the 33 was raced with nothing to lose. He's trying to go for a 3rd win this season. I'm glad you're able to squeak it out there. Well done, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, my teammates that were running here, running with the Dell Cup guys there, and they were trying to show me the Dell Cup games, but but I want to thank them, Cody, Steve, and Zach. That was fun racing with them tonight, and OP for letting me race in their league. I really enjoyed this league. Starting to grow on me, I'm starting to get familiar with the guys here, and it's starting to show now on the track, where I finished, how I race against everybody else, and the broadcast guys here. They always do an awesome job. I enjoy, watching the race, especially when I start finishing up front. Go back and watch the race.
Yeah, add this to the saved YouTube videos, I guess. There, make sure you give it a thumbs up and all that. This will be one to watch back, man. Great finish, just an excellent race from front to back. I know that stage-ending wreck earlier had you worried. You don't have to think about points at all, man. Just show up enough times, and we'll see you in the playoffs, buddy.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, there you have it. Vicente Guerrero, our race winner, getting it done here tonight. Now let's move on to our 2nd place finisher. That is the driver of the 33. That is Jeff Crosby Jr., Mr. Junior 33. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. How about you guys?
Not too bad. You brought that one home in 2nd place in an outstanding run. That car really never lost the front of the field.
No, I mean, that's pretty much the key to every race. Try to stay up front. Qualified really well tonight. And I thought we were definitely going to get it. I just saw it was 4/1000ths of a second, so it was really close. I'm glad Vicente was able to get the win there. Man, yeah, just stayed up front, stay clean. I don't even know if I had an incident point or not, but it was a really fun time out there.
Well, tell us what you were seeing out there and why this 33 was so fast tonight.
Everybody kept saying the restarts, take high on the restarts, and I was really noticing some at the beginning of the restarts. Inside line was actually not too shabby, especially with the right car behind you. So I just kind of stay low on those last 3 restarts there, and it kind of just helped. I thought Gabe was going to drop down on that final corner there and take the middle over Vicente, but he never did it. Um, I'm really appreciative of Rick there on the final restart. He was pushing all he can, and I don't know, man. These ARCA cars are just really, really fun.
Always fun when you end up on the podium here in a kind of a, well, just a very fast race and how everything was going. Everyone was really kind of working well together.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I didn't really notice any tensions or anything all night. Pretty much everybody worked together pretty well, and we got through it. It did seem like a quick race. And it's only 10:30 where I'm at, so all in all, I really believe that this race was really fun to watch. Hopefully, everybody on YouTube was enjoying it. Hopefully, you guys in the booth were enjoying it as well. I heard Peter got into it there on the final lap.
You keep that broadcast open on another tab or something, man?
Nope. After the race, got some word from other people that you were getting into it. So
Dude,
I'll go back
it was
and,
a hype finish. Everybody was dying behind you guys. It was mano a mano there towards the end. Man, I know you love these cars, and I think you got lucky with these cars tonight too, because you said you couldn't believe that top lane didn't come down and clear themselves. It's because it was the ARCA car, man. As soon as he tried to, he almost got turned, and the bumpers weren't lined up. It's not like the B car where you're just always pushing somebody flat. So that crooked bumper there that stopped them from being able to clear you guys, and you had a clear shot to the checkered. It's just P2, man. 0 incidents. Nobody who finished on the lead lap had less than 8 incidents but you. So I know that you're not really worried about points, but that's a pretty cool feather in the cap.
Dang, that's really good to know. Yeah, these cars are definitely something to keep an eye out on the rest of the season. We'll see how the points shake up at the end of the year or at the end of the season, and we'll just go from there. But I can't wait to go back and hear what you had to say there on the final lap.
Oh, it's nuts. You guys did a great job all holding it together. And hey, don't just watch that. Watch the end of the stage. You guys did an excellent job just racing really respectfully as well. And yeah, we love for you guys putting on a show. Anyone you're going to give shout outs to tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Everybody that was in my team tonight. Can't really name them all. I think we had like 7 people. So definitely want to give a shout out to you guys up in the booth. It sounds like you guys had a really, really fun time up there. Anybody watching on YouTube, really appreciate you guys sticking out with us each week, and definitely hopefully you guys just keep coming and watching the races. It means a lot to us. So yeah, let's go get it again next week.
All right, well, there you have it. Driver of the 33, Jeff Crosby Jr., second step of the podium. Now let's move on to our third place finisher. And Peter, I believe you've caught up with him.
Harold, it's Peter up in the booth. You copy?
Hey, I got you, Peter.
Hey, man, is this your first OP interview?
Yeah, this is it.
Congratulations on the podium, man. This is like one of your first few Wednesday starts as well, right?
Yes, this is actually the first Wednesday start. I just checked it out. I thought, hell, I like the ARCA cars, so why not give it a chance?
Well, that's the thing. I was like, I know I've seen him a lot on Saturdays. I know I saw him back in the day in SSK occasionally, and maybe Area 51 or somewhere else like that. How much ARCA experience did you have coming into this race?
A little bit of ARCA with the RSR guys. I really like these cars, especially on the super speedways. Probably, I don't know. I had a couple seasons on them, but these are my favorite. The ARCA cars are.
You probably are in better shape than most of us. We just reintroduced it back into our Wednesday rotation here, and it seemed like every restart, after it shook out and people kind of settled down a little bit, you'd find yourself in the first 3 or 4 rows again, and I'd be like, "There's that green monster machine. He's just creeping on up a little bit here and making himself present." And then when all the carnage seemed to unfold at the end, you were just in the right place at the right time to snag a third.
Yeah, that's what it was. I just kept seeing them cars. You know, it just parted the sea, and I was just waiting for that checkered line. It was awesome. You guys are great in the booth. Great working with you guys. Great racing with you guys. A lot of respect for you guys. So I'm real excited.
That's awesome to see, man. Did you run solo tonight too?
Yeah.
Oh,
had no teammates. Really didn't know nobody. I just stayed patient, you know. Ran with the guys like I could run with and see how it went.
Let's see here. I'm trying to look back. What were you, about 12th maybe, taking the white flag? 10th or 11th?
Yeah.
Wow.
10th or 11th and taking the green, white checker. No. Said, well, it's wreckers or checkers. You know how that goes.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things too. And it's just an interesting dynamic because, you know, with our playoff system here, it's a little different than those other series. It's if you win a race, you're locked in as long as you have enough starts. You being coming in a little bit late, that didn't apply to you. So it was, what do I care about points? I'm just here to win, or just send it and see what kind of finish I can get here. And you always seem to find your way back towards the front there. And right at the end, you know, it's, if those two guys had gotten together as well, battling for the win, who knows? We could have been talking to you first tonight instead of third. But man, that's just awesome to see one of the guys, you know, making one of his first few starts here and having such success so early. So man, congratulations. Any other shout outs you want to give tonight?
Yeah, my wife watches every night. She's my biggest critic. You know, she tells me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong most of the time. So, hey, babe, we got a third place finish tonight, and my dad watches every night. So shout out to Dad, and shout out to you guys in the booth, and shout out to you, Peter. Like I said, I got a lot of respect for you guys, and just trying to get my feet wet in this league.
Oh, great job tonight, man, and hope to see it continue next week. Good job, dude.
Thanks, man. Have a great night.
All right, well, there you have it. Our third and final finisher on the podium. Peter, outstanding night of racing. You picked a good one to be up in the booth with me.
Yeah, Fritz really, really wanted to win tonight. I know last week he wasn't thrilled that I left him there coming to the checkered. I feel bad he wasn't able to get it there tonight. He tried everything to win the stage and tried everything to win the race and seemed to not come away with much in either. But now he's the next guy up, right? Every single one of these guys who's a super regular seems to find themselves leading the points and then stealing a win at some point. He's going to be up there now. Everybody else seems to be locked in, and it's got to be Fritz's turn soon, right? So let's see if he's going to be able to get it done there. Really, really happy with how respectful the guys seem to be tonight. The comms were reasonably calm. I know that a lot of the crashes there can be really disappointing, especially with this car. I'm glad we didn't have too many damage model issues where guys had to tow from awkward spots and not really particularly punishing hits, and just a lot of different faces getting shaken out towards the front there, and just an overall level of respect. I thought that was really nice to see.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for joining me here tonight. Well, heck, you want to close us out?
Oh, yeah, one more thing. Harold, with that P3, has now made every single one of us look bad by immediately thanking his wife first. And now every time, every single broadcast that I didn't do that, I'm going to get in trouble retroactively. So thanks a lot, Harold. But what a race here, guys. Good job in the ARCA cars. Next week we'll be in the trucks, somewhere different, maybe in Alabama. Just saying, you might have to go check that out. But here at OP, we love to see you guys come out, and a lot of new faces tonight. Maybe we'll see a lot of new faces Saturday. Feel free to hit up one of our admins or check out our Discord server. KR, always our steady rock, who's in the booth here on Mondays and Wednesdays for us, man. Thanks for putting on a great show. And everyone out there in YouTube land who enjoyed us now or who's watching this 24 hours later when they're supposed to be at work. Thank you guys for checking us out and being a part of OP as well.
All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, y'all stay safe. Have a good night.